Thank you for even clicking on this video. Like, I'ma just talk like this isn't really planned out or whatever, and I didn't know exactly how to share my story, but a lot of people kept telling me that I should and I should, and I thought about it and I feel like I should because there's so many people that might be suffering from the same things that held me back from enjoying my life for years, and I wouldn't want anybody else to experience that. So basically, I lived majority of my life, half of my life, transitioning to be the opposite sex. I was born a male, and around 17 years old, I started to transition into living my life as a female. When I got around 30 or whatever, I decided that it wasn't, exactly what I wanted anymore, and I had to take the steps into getting back to the way that I was born. You know what I mean? So I wanted to share that with you guys out there, because I know that there's some people out there that's probably going through the same thing. So many people said, share your story, because with all these success stories and all the happy stories, you see Caitlyn Jenner, you see I Am Jazz, you see all the trans women fighting for their rights, which is awesome, and you see all this positive, but it's always another side, another story. And I feel like if I had someone who was had been through that I could have saw, I would have had more information. I would have knew different things, the pros and the cons, because it's pros and cons to every situation. Also, just thinking long term and thinking about your life before you make a long term decision, because I do feel like when I did make those decisions, I was living in a moment. I was feeling rebellious. It was something that I was curious about, and I wanted to do, but I didn't think about it long term. I just thought about the now, and I moved on the now. So, a little bit about me, and today what I'm going to talk about is actually the process of realizing that I wanted to detransition. Because before I even got a chance to actually detransition, it was a process. It was a thought process, because of course I lived my life and I was going around and I was actually having, what some may consider a successful transition. I was getting my surgeries, I was doing my hormone therapy. I'm actually a part of the ballroom scene, and I'm a legend in the scene, and I had a pretty good career, in the scene. I had a lot of followers and supporters, and my family was very supportive of what I was doing. So I was passable. I was making it through. I didn't have that kind of problem. So it wasn't like, some of the issues that people think when somebody detransitioned, oh, maybe they couldn't get their look a certain type of way, or they wasn't passable, or they were having problems in their love life. None of those were no issues to me. I was fine financially. I had the things that I needed, but still I felt unfulfilled. So one day, maybe around 2015, 16, I sat back and I realized that I wasn't as happy as I should be. A lot of people that I talk to now do tell me that they see the difference and they see that I'm happier now, and they thought that in my former life that I had that I was sad, but I didn't recognize that I did do smoking weed and partying, and I did do a lot of other things that's a little bit out of my character, but I didn't realize why I was doing some of the things that I was doing. I always stayed to myself a lot. I would perform and be in the crowd, but when I came back into my own place, I would distance myself from everybody. I didn't even peep certain things because it was a lot of signs. Trust me, we're going to get a chance to get through all of that. I'm here to talk about it. But so the first day that it really hit me, I was feeling kind of sad, and I did a lot of praying and meditating, and boom, it just came to me like, you know what? Maybe you are unhappy and you made the wrong decision. You jumped into this transition thing too fast and you moved your process too fast. I did always think about how life would have been if I would have did other things, because I was into a lot of other stuff and I was a very different individual growing up. So here I'm sitting here pretty much almost done, like everything except for the SRS, which is the last final surgery to, change the sex. I did everything pretty much, and here I am, a legend in the ballroom scene. People look up to me, I'm posting a lot on social media. I'm doing this, but I felt unfulfilled. So, being as though I did have surgeries and different things, I had to test it out. It hit me really fast. Like, it was one day I thought I was regular living my life as a woman, and one day I just wasn't happy. And from that day, it just was a domino effect of me feeling worse and worse and worse. It was almost like the same way I felt when I wanted to transition. I just felt worse and worse and worse, and I just felt more awkward. I didn't want to go outside. I had came so far in my transition and appeared as a womanly figure, so it kind of scared me. I didn't know anybody else at the time that been through it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to test. The first thing that I did was I went and I grabbed a haircut. And I had really big chest and stuff like that or whatever. So it was like I had to ace bandage and go buy me big t-shirts. And I was in Baltimore at the time, traveling and all of that or whatever. And I went to the barbershop. I mean, I had real long hair or whatever, and I had them cut all my hair off and give me my first boy cut. Man, like, I was so nervous. I was in this barbershop sweating bullets. Like, I know they was probably looking at me like, what? But just imagine, I hadn't been in a barbershop in 14 years. You know what I'm saying? So they cut my hair. I was scared, but everybody, and I was in the hood too, everybody was so nice to me. They treated me so regularly. It was so crazy. And it was a different experience when I came out. I remember snapping pictures outside of the barbershop, and the first thing I did was send a picture to my mom and to a few of my friends. My mom, even though she loved me and my whole entire family, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncle, accepted me and showed me so much love, my mom's reaction was priceless, and I knew that it felt good to her, and that it was something, and the feeling that she felt and how I felt back from doing that was something that made me feel a different feeling that I never felt before. I remember feeling the breeze just go through my head, and just how free I felt and how good I felt I looked. You know what I mean? And how comfortable I felt, and just that experience in the barbershop and just being with the boys and just doing something that I had never done, how different it felt for me. It was so therapeutic, and it was so refreshing. You know what I mean? Then I sent a few of my friends the pictures, and this is when I come down to a topic that's very sensitive to me, and why I speak up and why I want to be the person to stand up and be there for people that's going through the same situation. Because the hardest thing about detransitioning for me, it wasn't coming to the world or fitting in society or telling my family or getting a job or anything that you may think it be. The hardest part was within my own community. The backlash and the non-support and the non-understanding that I got from the LGBTQ community, from the ballroom scene, from everybody, it kind of confused me, even though I did receive a lot of support. And I'm not going to make it seem like I didn't, because a lot of support, especially from people who more so didn't know me, were very supportive. But some of the closer people, it was a little bit harder. And that's part of the reason why people don't come out of this thing. You know what I mean? I do feel like ever since the trans movement has got so big, it's so many people who jumped on the bandwagon, including myself, who aren't 100% trans. You know what I mean? And which messes it up a little bit. It makes it more difficult. So when it's time for these people to have to detransition, which is a normal situation, it's not nothing that you should make fun of or feel like a person is weird because they decided that they made a mistake. Be there to support. That's really mentally stressful on a person. I'm a real strong individual, so I made it through. Some people need more help. It's so many people who reached out to me telling me they thought about it or they wanted to do it and they didn't have the strength. We have to stop judging within our own community. You know what I mean? It's like we put so many labels and so many different categories when we're all the same. God created us all the same, and no matter if you want to believe in him or not, he's real and his love is real. I just want to be that voice and let you know that if you're having second thoughts, or you know somebody that's having second thoughts, or you know somebody that may not be as happy Open up your heart and open up your mind. They're not weird. They're actually special. It's so hard to live through two different lives, and it makes you a stronger person. I don't have regrets at all on what I've done, but I do have some regrets on the things that I've done to get where I want to. I want y'all to follow me if y'all can, subscribe or whatever, and like and comment. If you have any questions, anything that you want me to hit on my next video, um, just hit me up. I just thank you for even taking the time to follow me or to watch my video and let me get that off my chest, because this is very therapeutic for me. Like I said, I never ever had anybody to look up to. So if you are that young person that's thinking about transitioning but having second thoughts or not sure, this may not be the option for you. And if you're somebody who's in your transition and you're feeling unhappy, take the time for yourself and realize that there is another option. No, you don't have to stick it out and be unhappy. No, death is not the option. It's not an option. Live. Life is good. I have a more happier life now. And once again, I love my trans sisters. I love all my trans people so much. But it's some people that done it that it wasn't for. And it's okay, and be proud. Like, I'm proud. I'm proud of my whole journey. I'm proud of my scars. I'm proud of everything I've been through.